Welcome back. We are now on part 2 of Area of a Circle, Lesson 31 Homework Review. And here we continue with our question. In a diagram below, a square whose sides are 12 inches long has been shaded and overlaid with 2 quarter circles, each having a radius of 6 inches. What percent of the total area is shaded? Round your answer to the nearest whole percent and show the work that leads to your answer. So we know, or we've been told, that the measure of each side of the square is going to be 12, while the radius of our quarter circle is going to be 6, which means this one here is 6 and this one here is 6. And since they have both the same radius, we are really looking for, again, kind of a shaded region problem. We're going to do the area of the square minus the area of 2 quarter circles. Okay, so the area of a square. Well, we know the area of a square. We know that's going to be, in this case, 12 times 12. That's 12 squared. And we're going to subtract the area of the quarter circles. Well, we have 2 of them. So really it's going to be 2 times each, now times 1/4, because that's a quarter of each circle, times the area of the circle, which is pi, times the radius squared is going to be 6 squared. So we got this big long thing here. So again, we break it down to 2 pieces. We're looking for the area of the square and we're going to subtract 2 quarter circles to find the leftover part, the shaded region. So we know the area of a square is going to be 12 squared of 144. Okay, and so now 2 times 1/4 is 1/2, right? So this is 1/2. And that's 6 squared is 36, so we have 36 pi. So really it comes 144, half of 36 is 18 pi. Now, this would be, in this situation, the exact area of the square. So now what we're going to do is we're going to find the numerical value. And so we have 144 minus 18 pi. 18 pi. And we're going to get a decimal value of 87.45133. So 87.45. So it's approximately 87.45. But that we're looking for, keep in mind, what percent of the total area is shaded. So as percentage, we're going to do part over whole. So we'll find part over whole. And so we're going to get, in this case, the 87.45 over the whole square, which is 144. Now, I'm not going to use 87.45. I'm actually going to keep my value in my calculator and just divide by 144. The total area, the whole area of this section is to be square, so divide by that, and we get 0.607. So 0.607. 0.607, which approximates to, in this case, about 61%, because we're looking for the percent written into the nearest whole percent value. Again, around your answer to the nearest whole percent, and of course show the work. And so you would have to now find the area of the square, area of the 2 quarter circles, find this shaded region, and divide that shaded region by the total area. That will give us, in this situation, what the percent shaded would be. Percent shaded. Okay? All right, so remember, percent part over whole. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's now go to our next question. Make this full screen again. And now for question number 6. A semicircle has its diameter, the hypotenuse of the right triangle shown below. Determine the area of the semicircle to the nearest 1/10 of a square centimeter, and of course show how you write the answer. So again, if you're going to post just the answer, you're going to get no credit, because you're looking for, it's really saying show the work how you get the answer. We're going to use trig though. So we have here our angle of 68 degrees in this triangle here. And we're dealing with this side here and our hypotenuse. So this hypotenuse, and this will be the side adjacent to the angle. Therefore, we're going to use the cosine ratio, which is the leg adjacent over hypotenuse. So we're going to now find the cosine of 68 degrees, I believe it was 68 degrees. Oops. We get to write it down properly. The cosine of 68 degrees is equal to 7 over h. Now, if we cross multiply and solve for h, we'll get cosine of 68 degrees times h equals 7, and divide both sides by the cosine of 68. Now, the cosine of 68 is a real number. It's some crazy decimal. It's irrational. But now, what does h represent? H, the hypotenuse of our triangle, is equal to the diameter. And if you remember what we said before, that the goal to find area of a circle is to focus on the radius. So if h equals this, 7 over the cosine of 68 degrees, the radius of the circle is equal to 1/2 of 7 times cosine of 68 degrees. And then, of course, we'll use that to find our value for our radius. So here, let's use a calculator. Okay, so our calculator, we're going to do 7 divided by the cosine of 68. So 7 divided by, just make sure we're in the right mode. Yes, we're in the degree mode. Okay, great. So 7 divided by the cosine of 68. And we find out this numerical value is going to be 18.68627014. Now, here, we don't want the full amount, we want the radius value to be divided by 2. So divide by 2. So now, it's 9.3431. So about 9.34. So R is approximately 9.34. Now, we want to find the area, though. Look, we're looking for the area of determine the area of the semicircle to the nearest tenth of a square centimeter. So very important now, we want to find the area of the semicircle. And so the area of the semicircle is going to be, in this case, semicircle is 1/2 times pi times the radius squared. So we're going to square the radius. So really it's going to be 1/2 times pi times 9.34 squared. Now I'm going to square the value from the calculator, but this is how you would do this if you're approximating. So I wouldn't round off to the nearest tenth right away. I round to the nearest hundredth and keep it that far. So, but now I'm going to square this value. So how we do this? No, just hit squared. Answer squared. That's r squared. Enter. So that's going to be the radius squared. Now we're going to multiply by pi times pi. Oops. Let's see. Times, I see what happened. Okay, so let's go, not this button. I pressed the wrong, it should have gone this way. So delete this. All right, so let's go back to, how can we clear this? So clear, and we'll go second entry, go back to here. Second entry, go back to here, answer squared. That's okay. You know what? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, means I have to go back to the very beginning. I apologize for that. Though. So we're going to go from, again, we're going to go with our 1/2. So we're going to do 1/2 of 7 divided by the cosine of 68. Again, I'm so sorry. Hit the wrong button. This happens also. All right, so that's here. That's the diameter. Divide that by 2, and that's the radius. We're going to square this value. That's the radius squared. Multiply by pi times pi, second pi. And that would be the area of the whole circle. But now we want the semicircle. So in this case, we have 1/2 times, we said the calculator says about 274.24. So 274.24. So about half of this would be, in this case, divide by 2 is 137.12. Now we're looking for the nearest tenth. So we would find in this case, this is equal to we said 137.12, so 137.1 centimeters squared. I believe it was square centimeters, just to make sure. Let's make the entire page. Yep, square centimeters. So our answer for all this is going to be 137.1 centimeters squared. So again, you would have to do 1/2 pi 9.34 squared. And then if you type it this way, let's say, take a look and see how different that would be. So we do, in this case, 1/2. So we do 0.5. So 1/2 0.5 times pi and 9.34 squared. About 137.0. So it all depends, I guess, of the round, how much you round. In this case, if you got 137.0, it means you round 0.34. If you got 1.37.1, that was probably because you left the whole thing. And notice it's kind of interesting in this case. You round too much, you're leaving off a little bit. And so now which answer would be more correct? I would say in this case, the 137.1 is the more correct answer because you have less of a rounding issue. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of part 2. So in this case, we use the trigonometry to find the hypotenuse of our right triangle. We then said the hypotenuse was the diameter of the circle. We know that we have to divide that measure by 2 to find the radius, because the goal for area of a circle is to find the radius. And if we found the entire circle, it'd be about 274.24, but we're looking for a semicircle. We must divide by 2. So, ladies and gentlemen, hope this is helpful. Please leave any questions or comments in the comment section below. I appreciate any feedback you have. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like. And make sure you catch part 3. The question by itself is going to be pretty interesting. And just take notes. Make sure you're showing all the work, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and be safe.